I'm going to make an executive decision. We're going to move up right now to the draft, and we've got a good one today. We are going to create the perfect NBA player. What does that mean? Well, I'm glad you asked. I am going to show you. So this is what we got. We got 5 categories right here. We got the player's build, his size. We got the handles. We got passing. We got scoring. We decided to put that one all in one. And we've got just sheer athleticism. So, obviously, we're going to talk about 15 players. This can be former or current players. But once a player is taken, you can't use another attribute of his. So, for example, if Kanan wanted to use Muggsy Bogues' build for some reason, but he wants to do it, he can have Muggsy Bogues' build, but that means then that none of us can take his athleticism, his scoring, his handles, anything like that. Once a player's taken, doesn't matter the attribute, they're off limits. So we randomized the order. Yes, we did. Don't question it. I ended up first, Kanan second, Thomas is third, but it's a snake draft as always. So Thomas will pick first in the second round. I am up first. And I thought I had my number 1 taken, but I'm going to save it. I am going to go to athleticism, and with the first pick, I feel like I have to take him. I will take LeBron James. One of the most freak athletes we've ever seen on an NBA court. Very few holes in what this guy can do. I think that's a pretty safe round 1, pick 1, personally.
Yeah.
No, that is a really safe pick. I'm surprised, honestly. Though I had 3 people before him coming off. But for my pick, I'm gonna go scoring. And when I'm thinking scoring, I need somebody that can score from inside, outside, the mid range, down low, 5 feet away, 30 feet away, 40 feet away. Give me Kevin Durant. That is the best scorer of all time. Silky smooth jump shot. Always just pure efficiency. Doesn't matter if he's 35 feet away from the bucket. Doesn't matter if it's 5. This guy will get you buckets. He's the best scorer of all time.
That's a really good pick. I thought about KD when I was going through my options for each category. Good pick, Tommy. You've got 2 to play with here.
All right. So when we pick these players, are we assuming it's like just the prime version of them?
Yeah, we'll just say best version of themselves.
All right. So here's the deal. I know I'm not winning this draft.
He admits
So
he comes clean.
I think I'm just gonna have fun with it. I think I'm just gonna have fun with it, and I'm gonna throw some nice visuals out there. So we're gonna start with the build, so that we can kind of like piece the puzzle together.
I'm excited.
I'm gonna say Kenneth Lofton.
Oh my!
All right.
All right.
Just like everyone
So
expected, Kenneth Lofton is off third.
we're gonna have Kenneth Lofton with the handles of Kyrie Irving.
That's right. I think that was the pretty consensus pick for handles.
Honestly, yeah. I was expecting to take Kyrie second. I was like, okay, I don't think Thomas is going to take him. I think I was honestly thinking build and athleticism, a funky combination, but that's all right. For me, I am going to go passing, and I am going to go with the greatest passer all time, Magic Johnson, baby. KD scoring with his passing, just flip the ball 20 feet cross court, wide open person in the corner. Can't stop that. Got your big man rolling to the bucket, lob, easy dunk. So yeah, give me him. Give me Magic.
I like that. I'm gonna go with scoring, and I'm gonna pick someone that you didn't expect. But I just talked about him a little bit earlier, and maybe the most lockdown move in recent history is a Nikola Jokic down low hook shot.
The most efficient.
And he's got the outside shot as well to boot. That alone is all you need. And I have a lot of ways that I can go with this. but I think I'm going to take handles next. And I think we can agree that Kyrie's got the best handles we've ever seen. But in my opinion, the second greatest is a guy that played basketball like it was street ball. I'm going to take Allen Iverson.
Mm,
That is a good pick. That is a really good pick.
I think that's the clear-cut second best. So that's the thing. I just really don't want to be screwed on a category like handles that's kind of niche. I think I like my options at build and passing maybe more, but I just want to make sure that I have a certified guy like that. So Kanan, you are up. You can take build, handles, or athleticism, but you cannot take Kenneth Lofton.
Well, that hurt. That really hurt. But if I'm going, I got to go handles, and I got to go for the third, in my opinion, the third best ball handler of all time. Give me the Detroit Pistons bad boy, Isaiah Thomas. That his footwork, his speed with the ball, the killer cross, the hezzy tween behind the back. He could get to the paint at any way. God, he was such great with. I mean, he stopped MJ. Not a lot of people can say that, but Isaiah Thomas. I mean, I'm really liking the player I'm picking up right now. Just, I think I got the best one.
You're looking good so far. I like that pick a lot. I wasn't expecting IT. I don't think
third best.
that's a very good pick. I just kind of he kind of slips through the cracks sometimes.
He does. I mean, since we both like everyone's got their handles, I think. Yep. Honestly, some people I had, as a backup, I had Jason Williams, Mr. White Chocolate. I had Pistol Pete. But at the end of the day, I got to go Isaiah Thomas. I got to.
Good pick.
Because if I'm like, this is like NBA vest, I got to go with IT.
Yeah, that's a good point. Tommy.
all right. Well, it might be recency bias, but athleticism, I'm going to go Anthony Edwards.
I like that.
That's not ridiculous.
And I mean, can you imagine someone built like Kenneth Lofton jumping like Anthony Edwards?
It's a sight to see.
Scoring, you might hate on this one. Give me prime James Harden.
Okay. I had James Harden as a backup for me as well. I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
Yeah, I didn't have Harden as a backup. Or Durant. I think I just forgot to put Durant. I just put like 3 for each option because that's all it was really going to come down to most likely. But
I put 8.
You put who?
I put 8 people for each category. Like when it comes
like he put 3 hours into this, by the way.
I did. I sat down and I watched film. Like when it comes like stuff like this, building the perfect NBA player, I could do this all day, every day.
No, it's fun. So you've got athleticism and build left. Tommy has just passing left. I have build and passing.
I'm going to go for build this time. Thomas, you have Kenny Lofton, who is a freak. I mean, who's going to stop that athleticism, that ball handling? I'm going to tell you who. The Mr. 7'1" for the San Antonio Spurs, David Robinson. This guy was buff as hell. Nobody was pushing him around. The Admiral. He's stopping everything and anything that's getting in the paint, perimeter. Just one big body dude that you cannot get passed by. Honestly, I was thinking if Harry didn't take LeBron, I was going to take LeBron. But
yeah,
David Robinson has the best build of any NBA player of all time.
Yeah, I kind of thought about LeBron for build too, but I feel like athleticism with LeBron, like a guy that big and that athletic, I felt like you couldn't go wrong with it. So I'm up next. My last 2 picks are going to be consecutive, so it doesn't matter what order I go in. But I'm looking at Nikola Jokic right now for my build, and obviously he can kind of do it from the inside and the outside, but obviously down low is kind of where he makes his money. So I need a big guy, and I think one of the most dominant big men of all time is another guy that was not going to get messed around. That is Shaquille O'Neal. I'm happy with that pick. I think Shaq, obviously a big dude. You give him Allen Iverson handles, LeBron's athleticism, Jokic is scoring. It's unfair, but he has to be able to pass. and I think one of the best passers I've ever seen. Had a couple of options here, but I'm going to go with the two-time MVP, Steve Nash.
I mean,
So, my guy,
I'm surprised.
Really?
No. Like Steve Nash is a good pick, but honestly, I thought you would take somebody like Jason Kidd over him. To be honest,
No, I kind of like I think the flashiness of some of Nash's passes as well is kind of what does it for me. Kind of he obviously wasn't like a Magic, but like you see some of his like diving into contact, like throwing it out, finding Grant Hill for a corner three. I mean, using his head in the dunk contest with Amari Stoudemire.
that's not bad.
I like Kid. So you are up. We need your athleticism. Who
So
is your player going to replicate?
so I know the Shaq pick was really good because Shaq and David Robinson, they always went back and forth at it. Shaq had a really good couple moves on David, and looking at his athleticism with LeBron, that's very scary. But this is prime. And if I'm needing somebody to stop Shaq that's like that, give me an arguably underrated athletic peak. Give me the Orlando Magic Dwight Howard. From 2006 to 2012, you could not get anything off in his paint. That man would jump 40 feet in the air, dunk it, and hell, Shaq, he hates him. I mean, me personally, I feel like that's going to be a little animosity right there, the Superman name. But Dwight Howard's athleticism is severely underrated. I was thinking Vince Carter, but I need the defense. And Dwight, his footwork before he joined the Rockets, he had that LA stint, but I'm not counting that. Dwight's athleticism was peak. I'm talking absolute peak. There was a reason why he was the best center in the NBA for that period of time, coming out of high school too.
We probably could have added defense as a step, but I felt like that draft would just take him forever. So I think.
I mean, we could.
We could. I think we'll have to save that for next time, though.
Next time, yeah.
Tommy, your last pick. Who does your guy with the body of Kenneth Lofton and the athleticism of Anthony Edwards? Who does he pass like?
Rajon Rondo.
Yep, that was one of my considerations.
Underrated.
Absolutely, good pick. Let's see who. I know for me, I thought about LeBron for build. I also thought about Zion for build and athleticism because a guy his size, some of the things he does is ridiculous. For handles, I thought about Steph Curry. He's obviously not on Kyrie's level, but he's had some really big highlight moments. Passing, some guys I thought about were John Stockton and Chris Paul.
Yep.
Chris Paul in the pick and roll, obviously very, very good. Scoring, first off, I can't believe nobody said Michael Jordan for anything.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
90s
he doesn't have a left hand. We're done with the 90s.
Right hand bandit.
I thought about him for scoring a little bit too. I also wrote down Kareem and Luka Doncic. I think Luka's probably the weaker of the picks, but bless you, Kanan. Kareem, obviously the second highest scoring player in NBA history. Athleticism, I went with LeBron, obviously. Thought about Vince Carter, thought about Zion. I also thought about Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
That's a good pick.
What, 6'3" or something like that, and just the way he gets up. He's kind of like in a way he's almost like the 2010s Anthony Edwards. Like they play kind of similarly. Like they can get up in a similar way.
For my athleticism, I had a whole bunch of people. I had Vince Carter, Dominique Wilkins, Wilt Chamberlain, Julius Erving, Russ. I even had Blake Griffin at a point because Blake Griffin's athleticism was absolutely insane. For scoring, we mentioned KD, Curry, MJ, Harden, Kareem. I had Kobe and Melo as well. Just like Melo, that one-on-one isolation game in the mid-2010s, nobody did it better. Passing, CP3, Nash, Stockton, Kidd. I had Joker, but you obviously took him. And for build, no Giannis, no Wemby, no Sean Kemp. I had Orlando Magic Shaq. I was seriously debating between him and David Robinson, and even Wilt again. But I'm happy with the teams with the players I got.
Tommy, do you have any other honorable mentions?
I really was thinking about Russell Westbrook as well for athleticism. I kind of wanted to joke around and say like Muggsy Bogues,
Excuse me.
Hard Webb type. I think Dominique Wilkins is kind of slept on too for athleticism. He was
Yeah.
insane.
Dr. J too, I think would have been a good one.
Or like Yao Ming for build.
Yeah, I thought
Like-
about just like an absolute freak like that. That's why I thought about Wemby, but I figured, like you got David Robinson in there. Like when I feel like Wemby's just a little bit too scrawny to go up with him. Maybe when it gets older, but I mean the kid's what 19 years old. It's kind of hard to say right now.
John Stockton was going to be. He's probably my backup passing.
Yeah, I think Rondo's a really good pick. So I think that wraps it up. I've got build of Shaq, handles of AI, the passing of Nash, the scoring of Jokic, the athleticism of one King James. Kanan has the build of the Admiral, David Robinson, the handles of the 80s Isaiah Thomas, not the 2010s Isaiah Thomas. The passing of Irvin Magic Johnson, the scoring of Kevin Durant, the athleticism of Dwight Howard. Tommy's got the build of Kenneth Lofton, not Kenny Lofton, the should-be MLB Hall of Famer. He's got the handles of Kyrie Irving, the passing of CP3, the scoring of James Harden, and the athleticism of Anthony Edwards. You guys will have to let us know who won this draft.